is Davis Smith. Um, Currently working full-time for FedEx and doing coaching and speaking and helping people. And that's really why I do what I do. Because when I was in high school, I was working for a veterinarian. And there were two vets that worked there. There was the older doctor who was, man, upper 60s, maybe older, owned the place, and his younger partner was in his 30s. Of course, I'm high school, 16, 17. And the older partner was just scared to death to ever retire because he had had friends that every time they retired from their jobs, they died within a year. And but it got to the point where because of his age, he's losing his skills. And he just finally, the junior partner said, look, we're losing customers. You've got to retire. You're hurting the animals. And so he reluctantly retired. And I kid you not, it was uncanny. It's probably a mental thing, and we'll talk a little bit about the mindset and how that all works later. But seriously, he died within 6 months of retiring. And so then, you know, at that very young age, I had this idea that, hey, I don't want to work my whole life and then just retire and die. And yet, all the things I had tried to do to make money, for whatever reason, hadn't worked out. And I found myself approaching 50, still working at FedEx. Didn't seem any closer to getting to my goals. And so I hooked up with a couple of mentors that taught me a lot of things, been able to distill them down to 3 main points with some sub points. And so it's what I apply in my life, working towards an early retirement. Not as early as I'd hope, but hey, early retirement nonetheless.
You know, we all are going through it, and we're all trying to do the best we can. And we are all learning from our own mistakes. Wouldn't it be nice if we were learning from somebody else's mistakes instead? That'd be so awesome. So I'm very happy that you're bringing this, and you are going to retire early compared to most people. Many people don't retire until their late 70s now because of a variety of reasons. Either they tell themselves they can't, or like you said, mindset could be a piece of it. And a lot of people are working longer. And as long as you're doing what you love, that's one thing. But if you're not doing what you love and you're doing it for a paycheck, that's another matter altogether. So you're here to release people from doing it because they don't love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I just saw the stat that about 70% of the people expect to work past retirement age. And I know that 7 out of 10 people, that was not their dream. My dad still works. He's worked his whole retirement. And that was not, that wasn't his dream. So that's why it's my passion to help people, hey, like I said, don't work for the golden arches during your golden years or anybody else.
Not if you don't want to. All right, so you're drinking some coffee now. I think coffee is a big part of your life. Do you want to share a little bit about that before we get started?
Yes. One of the things that I do for passive income is network marketing, and I'm involved with a coffee company that it's healthy coffee. They put about 11 supplements in it. And so if you know anything about network marketing, you refer people, there's 400 million cups of coffee drunk a day.
Wow.
And so this particular company, we stack the pay in the first 3 levels instead of spreading it out over 7. And so you literally, you only need to find 4 faithful coffee drinkers and help them find 4, and you make $660 a month. Now again, $660 is not going to retire you, but we call that a 20 club. And as much money as you want to make, just keep building 20 clubs. And you can find 4 people that want to drink coffee and help them find 4. So that is one of my passive income streams.
Well, I love that you put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, awesome. So you're very passionate about creating passive income streams. How did you first get started in doing network marketing or passive? Like, where was your first entree into passive income, as it were?
I think the first time I got involved with any kind of thing, anything like passive or network marketing, I was actually in the Air Force, my first couple of years in the Air Force station at Nellis Air Force Base in Vegas. And I got involved with a company that helped people with their finances, ironically. The guy's name was, man, I want to say John Commuta. Man, I haven't heard that name in forever. And my goodness, that was back in the days where we had VHS tapes. You had the presentation on a VHS tape. And but it was all about, you know, how to manage debt, turn your debt into wealth. And it was a financial education company, but it was also network marketing. And so that whetted my appetite. And it was always stayed, even though I've done a lot of things not network marketing, I always seem to find my way back into the industry.
Well, fair enough. I think that if you have done it sort of throughout a grand amount of time, and you didn't just like get in, get your toe wet, and then get out, you have some perspective to offer to us on it. So share with us maybe some of the stories that you've had with good stories and not so good stories with network marketing experiences.
Well, let's see. One of the things that, like I said, I got involved with network marketing so early. And so back then, like I said, we had VHS tapes when I first started. And then you move along a little bit further and get involved with other companies and different things. Think about it, Facebook's only about 16 years old. And so back 20, 25 years ago, even though you had AOL and you had some internet connection, you didn't do a lot of recruiting on social media like you see people doing it today, even though they do it wrong. So one of the things that we did back then was call leads. And that was just terrifying because, I mean, how many people love telemarketers, right? I know the way I grew up, every time the phone rang and it was a telemarketer, parents would cuss out the phone and, you know, they'd interrupt dinner. And that trains you that, hey, telemarketers are bad. And so I had the typical phone fear, thinking, oh, wow, telemarketer. I had this, didn't even understand it back then, but, you know, had this program that said telemarketers are bad. And yet I want to, you know, call people. So I would buy leads and then never call them. And, well, that's not going to work. So you'd take a training program and you'd go through it. And it's like, still doesn't get over the phone fear. And so I even went so far during one program where I figured, hey, if I'm going to learn how to call people, I'll go become a telemarketer. So I actually got a job as a telemarketer for a company that did mortgage refis. And that did not work out well. All it did was actually strengthen the negative programming about being a telemarketer. I lasted like 2 days at that job. So, you know, so the things have changed, but, you know, there's been some good as well. Usually the good comes in when you have, I've always been involved with like health products. So some of the best companies I've been involved with were weight loss, built companies that had weight loss. The current coffee has like a weight loss component to it, but it's not, you know, the big deal. Might help you maintain if your body is just right. I mean, there's the other supplements are better. So like in this case, it was why I got involved with the coffee, because I mean, it's coffee. You don't have to teach people how to drink coffee. You don't have to remind people, hey, you're out of coffee, you need to reorder. So, you know, some of the things that are out there like that, not to knock any company, but you have to, you know, you have to know what you're marketing. There has to be a market for what you're marketing. And so, you know, you see people like their skincare companies. Skincare companies are awesome. There's no doubt. But your target market is not the person that gets their skincare from Walmart. You know, and so if you're trying to pitch your skincare to people who get their skincare from Walmart, you're going to be out of your league. Your target market is going to be the Lancomes and higher. And so you see a lot of people that get into network marketing and don't really understand who their target market is. So they'll get into a company. Oh, I love this, but your skincare is $120.
Yeah.
That's your.
Actually, it's funny you say skincare, because that's one of the examples that I often use when we talk about a niche market, and you defined it so cleanly there. But I'll talk to people about, what's your niche market? And in skincare, they'll say, well, I provide skincare. So really anyone with skin, which it's just nobody. Where do we narrow that down? It's not, no, that's not, sweetie. It's not your target market. It's not people with skin. It's got, like, there's a lot of people with skin that are not going to buy your stuff. So like, what's your niche market? And like you said, you're looking for maybe higher end people, or maybe you're looking for, or maybe it is less expensive than some other stuff, but you've got to be able to define like who you serve and who you do not serve in order to be successful.
Very exactly.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So some of the other networking, and you haven't always done a network marketing. There's several other things that you've done as well, but let's just stay for right now with network marketing. Tell us some of the other things that you've experienced that maybe weren't so successful.
Well, what are some things you see?
Or maybe just something, it doesn't have to be unsuccessful. It could be just something like, aha, I learned from that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, one of the things that I learned is that you have to, again, you have to be able to stay in the game. And so if people are, so you've got to figure out how to get to break even. And so people will stay in. There's a couple of things. There's a couple of reasons people stay in. A lot of people come in because they know somebody. And if you have a good relationship, this has happened to me. I've stayed in companies where I wasn't making any money because I was friends with my sponsor, and I was trying to help them out. But ideally, you need to get somebody to break even, because once they're break even, there's no reason to ever leave, unless you're absolutely, in love with the product. And so again, that comes down to, I've been in a lot of programs where you needed 50 people just to break even.
Yeah.
And so again, that's why I kind of made the switch where, it only takes like 4 or 5 people to make $100, and you're at break even for a bag of coffee and your samples that you're going to pass out every month. And so that's where, you've got to find a way to retain. It's got to be something people really want. And that's the other thing, is that network marketing was originally, if you look at Amway, and Amway, it gets a bad rap, but Amway is still the biggest. It's the granddaddy, and it is still the biggest network marketing today. It does like $3 billion a year. And the second place company does like $1 billion a year.
Now,
and so company, if the second place company doubled, they still couldn't catch Amway.
Yeah.
And originally with network marketing, it was supposed to be replacement dollars. You take money you're spending over here and you just buy our product instead.
Okay.
And we drifted away from that. So you have people that were buying products that they weren't already buying, or spending more for products that they were already spending. See, for me, like in the Starbucks era, $2 for coffee is not a thing. So when I got involved with a network marketing company selling coffee, I was buying a mocha every day. That's $4. I was spending $120 at Starbucks minimum. And so you come along and tell me, hey, you can get this coffee for $2 a cup, plus your marketing materials, and be less than $120. That's what I did. It was transfer money.
I see that.
Yeah.
That
and so,
spend anyway on something that you already liked, and you were just going to spend it this way instead. Interesting. All right.
That was what network marketing was originally supposed to be. It was supposed to be transfer buy. Okay. Take money you're already spending and buy our product instead.
Okay.
And so that's, again, one of the mistakes that the market has made. You're marketing CBD oil to people who don't currently buy CBD. They don't have depending on the company, $50 to $110 in their budget for CBD oil. It's not something they're spending.
Got it.
Now, if they're spending money on pain relief and they can get close to that and get better service from CBD, or if they're spending money on, I don't know all the benefits of CBD, I just threw it out there. I know it's for pain relief, but any of the other benefits, if you're spending money on pain relief, maybe spending money on CBD is for you. If you're buying your skincare at Lancome, getting your skincare from XYZ Network Marketing Company is for you. But if you're happy getting Noxema at Walmart, you're probably not a good candidate to transfer over. So again, even in my coffee business, if I'm talking to a person and they brew a pot, they buy Folgers for $7, and that big $7 canister of Folgers gets them through the whole month, it's not transfer spend. But if they're spending $4 or $5 a day at Starbucks and they want to move some of that money over, it's a transfer spend.
So I get transfer spend, but what about, what if it's like, because oftentimes you'll hear the argument like, oh, this is better, right? Like, and so it's interesting that you have it outlined as transfer spend, as opposed to like, oh, you could buy that stuff, but ours is way better.
Right. And again, the network marketing products are often way better, but is it in your budget? See what I'm saying? There's, hell, any skincare product that you get from a network marketing company is going to be better than what you get at Walmart, but your skincare budget is Walmart. So you come to the person and say, well, ours is better. And it's like, yeah, but I'm broke.
Fair enough.
That's why now you can go to the higher niche skincares, and yeah, you're clearly better, and even money or save money, and that's where the better argument works. The better argument, yeah, my coffee's better than Folgers, but it's you don't have 11 health supplements in Folgers.
Well, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, okay. So
it's clearly better. But if your budget is $10 for Folgers for coffee, if your coffee budget is $10, it doesn't matter that mine's better. Now again, maybe if you're buying vitamins, and I can show you, oh, this supplement's already in my coffee. You're spending $30 for that supplement. I've actually looked. Most of the supplements that are in our coffee, to buy the basic bottle is about $10. So there's $110 of supplement value in our coffee. So if the person loves their $10 Folgers, but they spend $60 a month on supplements, okay, now we're back in the ball game again. I'm back in the better ballpark again.
Okay, all right. So I don't think it always has to be about money, and sometimes it's about quality, and sometimes it's about time, and sometimes it's about savings, and sometimes it's about just a better lifestyle. It could be about a variety of different things. But I did not think about like the transfer spend. That's really, really interesting. All right, what are some other strategies besides network marketing that you have seen that seem to work really well out there that are passive income strategies?
Most of the stuff that I've done isn't actually passive, and that's what you find out. Like if you go into eBay, you go into Amazon, there are ways that you can make those passive, but the average person never gets there.
Okay.
Now, what I like about those things is that you can take those things and move that money into passive. I know you've had a bunch of people that have talked about amazing stuff on here today. So let's say you go out and you're making a couple $100 a month selling stuff on eBay. Mm-hmm. You can put that into a stock account. And start buying dividend stocks. Okay. You can take that and you can use that to save up for, I don't know, I haven't watched all the replays of some of the people you've talked to, but, some of the people, they have, you've got to have X amount of money to build this passive income stream. Okay, I don't have any. Okay, well, do eBay until you have that money.
Okay. Well, I think that's really clever. Like, you figured out how to make it work so that you can take the streams of income that you already have that are active streams of income because you're working them. Now, some of the things that you've done are really impressive. David has actually really figured out some cool stuff on like how to sell stuff on eBay and how to sell stuff on Amazon and things like that. And that, I mean, it can be really cool, but if you're not doing anything, if you're just using that to buy, you know, regular stuff, and you're not investing that then in some other passive income stream, then you're going to remain in that active place. Now, some of the things that like Jamie came on and talked about how to sell things on products on Amazon. If you're doing drop shipping and you're not involved in it at all, and you're just listing it and then you're getting out of the way, then you can make money doing that on Amazon. But if you're doing active sales, if you're searching for things to get discounts on and you're stuffing them in your garage and then you're packaging them up and selling them, that's active again. Is that right?
Right. And the beauty with Amazon is they have what's called fulfilled by Amazon. So you can make that, you can make part of that passive. You can go out and buy all of your inventory. You can send that to Amazon, and then Amazon will sell it, packet, ship it, do all of that stuff, and then they send you a check. There's still a part that you have to do. And that's why I say some people have made that very passive. You can hire someone to source.
Okay.
You can hire someone to source, well, not now, everything's closed, but, and again, that's one of the downsides that nobody even saw coming. But you can hire people to source, maybe find your books. I know people that hire people to shop at Ross and Marshall's for them. And then they hire other people that will do the prep and send it off. So they're like the manager, and it is passive to them in as much as they're managing, but they're not doing all of the hard work. And this kind of goes along with mindset. I had a mindset problem.
Because this is the big thing for you that when you and I talked about this, really mindset and telling yourself and what kind of messages you're giving yourself is a really big part of it. So share with us a little bit about your journey there.
Well, when I was doing eBay, what's funny is there used to be a program that taught you how to sell on eBay, and it had a network marketing component. It was an eBay education program, kind of like the original financial education program I got involved with. It's eBay education, but you could sell it in a tiered process like network marketing. And the guy who ran that program one night came on a webinar and he said, I can teach you how to make money. And he had. This guy had the Midas touch. There was nothing that he could not make six figures at. Everything he touched turned into gold. This guy even does fantasy sports, and he can make six figures a year doing hockey fantasy sports. It's insane. This guy has the Midas touch. But on that webinar that night, he said, I can teach you how to make money. And he had taught all of us how to make money in multiple different ways. They said, but y'all are going to screw it up because of what's going on up here. And that's where he introduced us to some resources on neuroplasticity specifically, and how to change the things up here. And it was amazing. I was out of 1,000 people on that webinar that night. I'm pretty sure there were, I would almost say I was the only one that took it seriously. There, out of 1,000 people, there may have been 5, but I know for a fact I took it seriously. I went to the source of the source and met the author of the book that he suggested, and he became a mentor, and that's how I became a certified life coach, was through his mentorship. But what he taught was everything that we hear, every message that we receive programs our brain. And most of us have negative programming around money. And I can prove it by the fact that 78% of the people in this country live paycheck to paycheck. If we didn't have negative money stories, 78% of people wouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck. So look at something like the Titanic. Most people you don't even realize how subtle it is. Look at the movie Titanic. They have that party scene. The upper deck, you have all the rich people at their party, and it's boring as hell, right? And you go down into the deck where Jack is a stowaway and all of the servants on the boat, and their party is hip. It's Jack. I mean, it is just lit. You know, they've got the fun music, the dancing. It's all going great.
I've never put that together before, but that's true.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, rich people are stupid, boring, and unhappy.
They're boring. Their parties suck.
It's way better to be poor and with the rest of us.
Yep.
Oh,
we get messages like that all the time, and they're subtle. It's just why 78% of the people are broke. So we get messages like that all the time, but we can change our programming. It's like learning a foreign language. You listen to a Spanish language tape over and over again, and in theory, you'd learn Spanish. Well, you can get specially made audios, and not affirmations, but specially made audios that give you input about finances, self-esteem, weight, whatever. And here's the difference between self-talk and an affirmation when it comes to money. Affirmations tend to sound like, money flows effortlessly into my life. And you're like, does it really? You know, no matter how many times you say that, there's a crowd out there where affirmations don't work. And affirmations tend to be vague like that. Money flows effortlessly into my life. Self-talk is more rewiring behavior in your brain. I save and invest 10% of every dollar that I make. I save and invest 10% of every dollar the first 10% of every dollar that I make. That's just one line. But if you're listening to that over and over, it's wiring in a behavior. I set financial goals and read them every day. Again, you're wiring in a behavior. And there's all kinds of financial behaviors that you can program and wire in. And so one of the areas that this happened for me that I saw it right away was with Amazon. When I was selling on Amazon, I could sell $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 worth of product a month. And then, but like T. Harv Eker says, you have a money thermostat. And so I would sell $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 of product, and my money story said, you're not that guy. And so subconsciously, I would go out and buy inventory that sucked and lose that whole nest egg and have to start all over again. How many times have I started my Amazon business with $200, $300 and built it back up to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000? I did that multiple times. And so then I'm listening to these program tapes, or actually streaming online. I listen to these money programs, start changing my money mindset, and also goes to the whole idea of goals, that goals need to be written. They need to have date definite, all kinds of things you need to have with your goals. So one month I was like, okay, this is it. I know this stuff. I'm taking all the stuff that I'm certified to teach other people. And it's like, so I wrote down, I was like, look, in the next 30 days, I'm going to have a 5-figure month on Amazon. I wrote it out. Well, one of the things that you have to do to have a 5-figure month on Amazon is you have to spend money on inventory. And my old money program was, I was scared to spend more than $500 at a time because I was scared to lose more than $500 at a time. So as I start reprogramming my mind for money success, that first month that I went out to hit 5 figures, I started spending $1,200, $1,300 a week on inventory. And before, I wouldn't spend more than $500 a week. So now I'm spending $1,200, $1,500 a week. I spent somewhere between, $4,500 to $6,000 on inventory. Probably about, knowing the math, probably about $4,500 on inventory. And I had never spent $1,500, more than $1,500 in a month on inventory. So that month I spent about $4,500 on inventory, using the programming in the brain, using what I know about setting goals, writing them down, step by step how to follow them. sure enough, that 30-day period, I sold $11,300 on Amazon, and I had never broken 5 figures before. So it was a combination of mindset and what I know about goal achievement now.
Well, it was a way to create income and somewhat passive income, but income by shifting your mindset and creating that sort of 30-day window. Like, we're just going to have this, we're going to have this happen, and it's going to be successful. It's no longer going to be a cost. It's going to be an investment now. It's going to be something where I'm going to do this so that I can get that kind of thing. And those kind of mind program are different than things where you're telling yourself one thing and you're saying the words, but your mind's going, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, right?
Yeah,
but if you can do it and get yourself to the point where you're like, oh no, this is doable. This is the natural next step. If I do this, then this will naturally happen. That's where the shift goes. So I loved your mindset. I love your mindset lessons. It's really very, very powerful. I like it a lot. So fantastic. All right. Well, you actually have some stuff for our folks, and I want to get a little bit to that. You have a course, and then you sort of have a freebie as well, but it's a really, really cool freebie. So which do you want to talk about first?
Just do the course first, I think.
So go ahead.
Okay. It's brand new. It's called, man, it's so new. I can't even remember I think if you look at it, it's called Money Mindset. Ultimate Money Mindset to help you soar into prosperity.
Awesome.
Is what it's called. It's over on Udemy. And so right now it's, you know how Udemy runs. But it's in beta. So I'm really, it's super cheap. But what it does is it goes through.
Go ahead. It's actually, this is not like a $500 course, and it's not live. You're not going to get 6 weeks of David's full attention because he's a busy guy, right? But this course is available on Udemy, and it's actually with the coupon code that you get, it's for $10.
Yeah, $10.
$9.95. Right. And $9.99, I think it is. And it's super awesome. Thank you for giving that discount to our group. And it's just like, why wouldn't you pick that up? That's super awesome. Totally cool. So tell us what we're going to get.
Okay, so in that course, there's it talks about your money story and how to change it. It talks about sometimes you don't, it's not a negative money story, but maybe you just have bad money habits. For instance, if you don't, I'll just throw a couple of for instances out there. A lot of people use their personal checking account for their business checking.
Oh,
and so
big mistake. That's so true. I've always forgotten to tell people that, but it makes such a difference.
Right.
That's like the first thing that you should do. Like, honestly, before you think of a name, get a checking account. Get a separate checking account. Seriously.
So there's a lot of little things like that. It's not even money mindset. It's just bad habits.
Oh yeah, it is. And it's also
money mindset. It is. Yeah, it is. It is mindset, but it's not. Yeah, it is mindset. So, but then there's a whole module on your money story.
Okay.
And some people's, like for instance, some people's money story is they can make money, but they can't hold on to it.
Yeah.
That was what I was for the longest time. Is you could make money. I could make money, but can't hold on to it. It talks about your deserve level for money. Again, like I talked about with Amazon, I would get up to $7,000 in sales, and there was a little guy in my head that said, "That's not your deserve level." So there's all kinds of things about your money story. One of the things I really like in there, worth the $10 by itself, 7 symptoms that you have a money block. The 7 symptoms that you have a money block. And they'll give you just one of them, procrastination. Yeah. If you procrastinate with money-making activities, you have a problem with your money story.
Did you also tell us how to get past them?
Yes, yeah. So it's got the 7 symptoms and then how to get past them. So just learning the 7 symptoms and what to do about it, that's worth the price of admission, right?
I love it.
So that's the kind of thing that's in the course.
Okay, very cool. All right, and then you have a really, really, honestly, very kind freebie for our group because it's not really free. It's free to them, but it's not free to you. So you have offered to give up some time for our folks and chat with them. Is that right? And share with them yourself. So you actually, we're going to put in a link to your calendar. Is that right?
Yes.
And this is for goal achievement?
Pardon?
This is for having them have goal achievement. Is that right?
Yeah, for goal achievement. Just have a chat. I'm a certified life coach, business coach, and a certified self-talk trainer. And so what that means is we'll have a chat. And this is the Passive Income Web Summit. So we'll talk about what are your passive income goals. And then we'll look at the reasons why we don't achieve our passive income goals. We have mindset blocks, and it's nice to have somebody talking to you that's outside of you to help you see your mindset blocks. Heck, I teach this stuff, and I have a coach, and my coach is always going, did you know that I teach positive self-talk, and my coach goes, did you know you just said such and such? So you need somebody outside of yourself to say, to help you find your mindset blocks. So you have this, you have this passive income goal. Do you have the mindset to achieve that goal? We'll talk about, do you have the skill set to achieve that goal? And I know all the people that you're having on, they've got their programs that they're offering, and the skill set side will probably be taken care of from some of these programs, or they may have something they're doing on the side. But we'll find out, okay, do you have the mindset to reach that particular goal? Do you have the skill set to reach that goal? And then are you in the right vehicle to reach that goal? Like, you can't go to the moon in a car.
Yeah.
So you may, one of the things that's my passion is people over 50, half of the people over 50 have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. You're going to need, most people don't know this, if you were to eat 3 $7 meals and live for 20 years, you retire at 65, live to 85, you and your significant other, and you eat 3 $7 meals a day, which is not a fancy meal budget.
No.
You're going to need almost $350,000 just for 2 people to eat 3 $7 crappy meals a day for 20 years.
Yikes.
$350,000. And so you need, your passive income goal needs to be big enough to survive your retirement years. And if you have less than $500,000 in savings, and you say, this is my passive income goal, this is my vehicle, and your vehicle doesn't have a snowball's chance in Hades of getting you to $1 million, you need to know that. And so you can talk to somebody and find out, hey, is your vehicle going to get you to your goal? And then maybe we're a good fit and you need an accountability partner to get to your goal. Hey, do these steps. We'll talk next week. How did it go? Are you on path? Do you need to make an adjustment? All these different, so that we'll talk about those things in an hour, and we'll give you, at the end of that hour, you will have one achievable goal and the step-by-step way to achieve it. And that's just a gift I can give, and then we'll see what happens from there.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for being so generous to do that. What was the, somebody said, what was the other link? Was it a book? No, the passive income, it's a course. It's a full 2-hour course with 8 downloadables and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So you should definitely grab it. It's on Udemy. It's $9 or $9.99 or whatever. Definitely grab it. And you're going to get a lot of stuff and a lot of opportunity to be able to be with, listen to what David has to offer and some of the strategies that he has available. And then you can also book some time with him and chat with him about how to get to the next level. So thank you so much for being here with us today. I definitely appreciate it. You've given so much value, and I think it's really been really fun to have you on. Finally, I know we've been trying
Thank you.
for a year to get you on this course.
Oh my God, it's so fun. I'm not going to lie, a little bit nervous. You have some powerhouse people on here today and tomorrow. So,
you're one of them. Absolutely. Super glad to have you here. Finally, I was like, we got to get David on. He's got so many great stories. Plus my favorite line of all, you shouldn't have to work at the golden arches in your golden years. One of my favorites. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at time. Before I let you go, if they want to do more with you, the best way to do that is to book that call. Is that right?
Yeah, the best way to do that is to book that call.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah, we can, because then we can have a chat and just see where it goes. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for spending the evening with us. We're going to rock out of here. We are done for the night, and we are going to start again at, I think it's 9 in the morning. We have actually a really cool speaker on, Kat, one of my friends. She's going to be talking about how to create and sell an online course in 60 days or less, and be able to have that just stream automated income, and by the way, leads into your bank account and into your CRM in 60 days or less. So Kat Hlusha is going to be amazing tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of fun with her. She kicks it off at 9, and then we have a whole lineup of speakers. Going to be super fun. David, before I let you go, any final words for our crew?
Again, I'm just grateful to be here. Grateful to you to let me be on here with all of the super powerful speakers. Grateful to all of the people that stayed with us. And hey, take the course, book the call, and if you take the course, the way the Udemy algorithm works is if you finish it and leave a review, that's hugely helpful.
Oh, awesome. Good point. All right. So
Yeah.
we actually did see a couple of people that have bought the course. So thank you very much for participating in that. I know you're going to get extreme value out of that. Just don't forget to finish it off, do the whole thing, and leave a review. That'd be amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kimberly Hobscheid. We're done for tonight at the Passive Income Web Summit. Come join us over in Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel on the Facebook group. Mercy, if you can throw that in there. I usually do a little debrief of how everything went today. So you can catch us Facebook Live in Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. If you haven't already joined the group, you need to do that, because it's an amazing group of people by entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs get their business to the next level. And it's super amazing. A lot of opportunity for entrepreneurs there. If you are a person who just wants to have a side gig, totally fine. David has a side gig, right?
Yep.
Lots of people in there just have a side gig. I had a side gig for many years before I became a full-time entrepreneur. And it's a great place to hang out and see some people who've been through it, who have learned their lessons, and who can share their knowledge and expertise with you and help get you to the next level. All right, folks, I'm Kimberly Hobscheid with the Passive Income Web Summit, and we are done for the night. We're going to rock out of here. And when the music is done, we're done. All right. See you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye, David.
That was an amazing.
Thanks for hanging with us. You did great.
Here with Kimberly,
Thank you.
For entrepreneurs. She's on a mission to help you launch your business to new heights. Nobody lives out loud better than Kimberly.